Ever since we first looked up at the night sky, that faint little red dot has completely captured our collective imagination. But, in this explainer, we aren't just looking up and wondering. We're asking a question that pushes the absolute limits of human engineering. Will we actually finally go to Mars? I want you to really take a second and picture yourself in that position. Imagine waking up, kind of shaking off the sleep, and floating over to a small, reinforced glass window. You look out, and you are not looking down at the familiar blue oceans and green continents of Earth. Nope. Instead, your eyes meet this vast, completely alien horizon of rust-colored dust, sweeping canyons, and ancient craters. You're looking at Mars. It's a deeply cinematic thought, isn't it? Just that physical reality of a human being, millions of miles from our homeworld, standing right on the precipice of a brand new planet. Section 1. The Martian Dream. Decades of Scientific Vision. Section 2. The Long Journey. Traversing the Void. Okay, so we are talking about millions of kilometers here. And at this kind of scale, you aren't just far from home. You're operating with a massive communication delay and literally zero possibility of a quick rescue mission. Earth becomes nothing more than a tiny, pale blue dot in the rearview mirror, totally unreachable if there's an emergency. And because of that staggering distance and, the tricky realities of orbital mechanics, just getting there takes months. Astronauts aren't just taking a quick trip. They're committing to living in a highly constrained, closed-loop environment where psychological endurance is just as critical as physical health. Every single ticking second takes you further away from everything you have ever known. Section 3. Surviving the Red Planet, the Existential Threats. So, getting there? That's really just the beginning. The hurdles, once you actually hit the surface, are incredibly severe. First off, you've got radiation. Without Earth's protective magnetosphere, astronauts are bombarded by galactic cosmic rays. Second, you have massive thermal swings that demand incredibly robust materials just to keep from freezing or burning up. Third, there's the absolute lack of in-situ resources. That means every single drop of water and every breath of air has to be meticulously managed and recycled. And fourth, compounding all of this is the unprecedented medical challenge of keeping a crew physically and mentally healthy off-world. Section 4. Tech making it possible. Building the vanguard. But here's the exciting part. We are witnessing a massive historical shift right now. We're finally moving out of the era of dusty blueprints and theoretical white papers and transitioning directly into bending metal, writing code, and actually testing mission-ready hardware. The dream is quite literally becoming a tangible reality. Space agencies and private companies are tackling this together with a heavily integrated, three-pronged approach. First, we're seeing the rapid development of next-generation heavy-lift rockets that are designed specifically to escape Earth's gravity with massive payloads. Second, deep space habitats are being engineered right now for that long-duration transit. And third, we're creating totally innovative surface technologies, things like oxygen generators, closed-loop life support, and advanced thermal shielding, all specifically engineered to withstand the harsh Martian environment. Section 5. Not if, but when. The future of humanity. So, I want to put the question directly to you, now that you've seen the full picture. Reflect on the massive logistical challenges we talked about, the millions of kilometers, the cosmic rays, the extreme isolation. But then weigh all of that against the incredible engineering leaps being made today. Looking at all this evidence, the big question remains, will humans ever actually walk on Mars? Well, based on the sheer momentum of today's scientific development, the answer is leaning heavily towards yes. Reaching Mars just isn't a fantasy confined to sci-fi anymore. The monumental hurdles of interplanetary travel are being actively dismantled by human innovation right this second. Which leads us to a pretty profound shift in how we think about our future. As the source material so perfectly puts it, the real question may not be if humans will reach Mars, but when. It is an incredibly exciting time to be alive, especially knowing that the countdown clock might already be ticking. The dream is officially becoming a timeline. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this leaves you looking up at that little red dot in the sky with a whole new perspective.